if you can see the mess in my room behind me right now. No, you can't. Mind your business. So ladylike. Hey besties, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you a horror book reading vlog. Horror is a genre that I've really been wanting to delve more into. I read a lot of thrillers, but I don't really read a lot of straight horror. Like, horror is just that genre that kind of intrigues me. I kind of want to get into the spooky, the ooky, the horrific. And so in this vlog, I tried out 3 horror books that I've heard recommended by a lot of people. I read Hex by olde Heuvelt, The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, and No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Nevill. If you're interested in seeing my thoughts on these books, as well as me getting lip filler and going house hunting, then sit tight, get some popcorn, and enjoy. I'm coming at you in a very weird angle in my car. I can't get my tripod to balance on like my, what is this called, dashboard? And so I was just like, I'll just hold it and lean so the lighting looks better. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to update you guys on what I'm reading so far. The first book that I'm reading is Hex by olde Heuvelt. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name. This is a horror novel that I saw recommended by quite a few booktubers. Basically what I did for this vlog was I looked up a bunch of like horror book recommendations slash like beginner book recommendations for horror, because you know I'm trying to dip my toe into this, and I have to say so far I really like it. It has kind of a humorous tone to it, and I will say I like to go into most books blind. Like, I like to know nothing about them. Like, I just want to go in and have a good time. I had watched all the recommendations videos, but I had forgotten what they said about what this book was about, so I started reading the first chapter last night and I was like, what is going on? That this is a book that maybe you should read a synopsis, because the first 2 chapters won't make any sense to you. I actually ended up having to re-listen to them. And so basically what this book is about this town called Black Spring, and they are cursed by like an ancient witch. I don't really know the backstory on her just yet. I think that we'll learn that in the book. So if you move to Black Spring, you are basically haunted forever, and so you can't really leave the town very often, and if you do leave, it has to be for very short bursts, otherwise like the curse will catch up to you. And so it's really interesting so far, and honestly, even though the tone is humorous, it's a little eerie. I ended up having some dreams about it last night, because I probably listened to about an hour of the audiobook last night, and then I went to sleep and I kind of had a dream that the witch was like at the foot of my bed. So I don't know, I kind of feel like these horror books are going to give me nightmares. I don't know. Anyway, for more of a life update, I am currently at a med spa because I'm going to be getting Botox in my forehead. You might say, Sarah, you don't have any wrinkles on your forehead. It's preventative, okay? And I am going to talk to her about lip filler. I've been considering it for a really long time because I literally have no top lip. Like, watch me smile. Where'd she go? No top lip. So anyway, I'm going to go inside, and then when I come back out, we can chat and we can talk about whether or not I got lip filler. Okay besties, it's been a few hours. I had some meetings that I had to do right after I got lip filler, but these are the results. To be honest, I don't think it looks that different. She only used half a syringe because the person I went to is pretty modest with how she introduces people to lip filler, which I appreciate, and I requested for it to look natural, and it does look natural, and I think I look good. Like, I think I'm like, it's a cute moment, but I just don't know if it looks that different. I actually made a side-by-side. I'll insert it here so you can see. It's a picture of me from I think like last May or June, and then me today, and to be honest, I don't know if she's giving that much. I'm glad I did it once because I've always wondered what lip filler would be like on me, and whenever there's like an Instagram filter or a TikTok filter that like enlarges your lips, I've always done it just to see, and I've always wanted it, and so I think it's worth the money just to do once. But to be honest, I don't know about it, besties. Let's move on to talking about reading. I forgot when I was in my car earlier that I actually have a copy of this book. I got it from the library an ungodly amount of times. Like, I have renewed my checkout of this at least 3 times because I've been meaning to vlog reading horror books for a while now. And so I've had this copy for a while. And while I was at the place, which you might have seen in a clip, I did read more of this, and then on the drive home I read more. And I feel like it's really heating up. Like, we're learning more about the witch. We're learning more about like why she haunts the town, like how she was unfairly murdered, like what's going on. And like I said, it kind of has a humorous tone, so I'm really liking that still. Like, I'm liking the kind of upbeat vibe, because I have a feeling that everything's just gonna go to shit later in this book, because there are some teenagers in the town that are trying to rebel and catch the witch like on film, and that's like against the town rules because they try to quarantine the town away from other people, because if you come to Black Springs and you stay there, then you literally are cursed and have to stay there forever. They actually were telling a story about one of the main couples in this book. They actually, when they first moved to the town and they got told about the curse, they didn't believe it, and they tried to go on vacation for 10 days, and while they were gone in Asia, like on vacation, they both wanted to commit suicide because they were so depressed, and it wasn't until they went back to Black Springs that the curse kind of like lifted and they felt better again. And so it's like kind of like a cursed living in existence in this town. But yeah, I don't know, it's interesting so far. Like, I haven't read a ton of horror, as you'll know, and I like that this kind of has a fun vibe to it. A couple of things have happened since I last spoke to you. Number one being, I burst into tears just 10 minutes ago because I use Instacart for my groceries, and last weekend I was at my boyfriend's house and I got all of my groceries delivered to his house. And then today I forgot to switch the address, so when I ordered all the groceries I was gonna make for dinner tonight, I accidentally delivered it to his house. And I don't want to repurchase all of it, so I didn't want to like take myself physically to the grocery store, like make another order. So he's very kind. He called me and was like, hey, I don't think you meant to, but you brought your groceries here. Immediately I just started crying, and he was so nice. He was like, I'll bring it to you later. And I need you guys to understand that he does not live close. I live directly like in Atlanta proper, and he lives outside the perimeter. I won't say where exactly, but he lives outside, and with traffic it usually takes like 40 minutes to an hour to get to his house. I always like to joke that he's my long distance boyfriend, but we're actually moving in together in April, so love that for us. To get back to his good deed, he obviously saw that I was very distraught about my groceries, and so he said that he would bring them to me later when the traffic got a little bit better, so he'll probably bring them to me around like 8 o'clock. And I just thought that was really sweet and kind of him, and I really look forward to living together so that mistakes like this don't happen. Anyway, I digress. I have to edit a video for a few hours now that I'm gonna post tomorrow. I'm trying really hard to post weekly. I'm sure that you all have noticed that. I've been doing a lot better this January, better than honestly any year prior. I think I've already almost posted more videos this January than I did in the totality of 2021. Is totality a word? So, I read more of Hex last night. I literally stayed up, I think it was like 3 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. I really shouldn't have done that. When you get in bed at like 12:45, you should just go to sleep. That's what I'm learning, because I've been really trying to go to bed earlier, but every time I get in bed around like midnight to 1 a.m., I'm always like, oh, I can like read a little bit of a book before I go to sleep. And then I play a mobile game on my phone and I listen to the audiobook for way too long, and then I go to bed past 3 a.m. and feel like I want to die. I'm feeling very 3 stars about it. Like, I think that the horror aspect is creative, like the idea that there's this town and they're haunted by this witch and you have to follow these rules, and it's very like insular. Is that the word? Insular? Insular?
Insular.
You try your best, but you don't succeed.
This audiobook is like 14 hours, so I'm struggling a little bit to finish. Anyways, I need to take my dog for a walk, and then I need to make dinner, so I might take you guys along for that. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook while I do that, and yeah, I really hope that we can make a dent in the book tonight and I can finish it soon. Okay, besties, I have finished Hex, and I have to give it 2 stars. I loved the start. Like I was saying earlier, I loved the premise. Like I loved the idea. I loved, you know, the vibe of this town being haunted by this evil witch. And I just want to say that I think this book was far too long. Like I was mentioning earlier how long the audiobook was, and I'm just like, I feel like we could have shaved off like 200 pages. I almost feel like I would have liked this if it was a really short novel, like maybe like 200, 250 pages max. Like, I don't know if that is a short novel. I guess that's a normal length novel, but I would have to guess that this novel is like over 300 pages. I don't know. It just felt really long, like really long. And there was just so much that happened that didn't need to happen. Like I don't hate it, like I'm not gonna like put this on my worst of the year, but I just don't think I like it as much as everyone else likes it. Like I'm so happy that all the horror lovers out there really recommend this and stuff, but I think from me to you, there's better books to be read. The next book that I'm going to pick up is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. This is obviously a very popular horror novel that a lot of people have talked about. It's actually been on my TBR for a long time, so I thought this vlog was a perfect time to read it. Stephen Graham Jones is known for his horror fiction, so I feel like I should read from one of the greats, and I hope that I like this. I have heard mostly good things about The Only Good Indians. There's only a handful of people I've ever heard say that they didn't like it. Okay, so this might be a minor spoiler for both Hex and for this book, The Only Good Indians, but what is with murdering dogs and horror books? I am such a basic white girl because the way that I care more about when dogs die in books and movies than humans, like, it makes me so sad. I'm not super clear on what this book is about just yet. From my understanding, from like what people have said when I've heard them talk about this book, is that it is about this group of Native Americans who live on a reservation when they're younger, and they go on some sort of hunting trip and then get cursed by something. And so this story takes place many like years later, like I think it's like a decade later, and it's like them being cursed by like what happened. Okay guys, I'm checking back in to say that this book is really good so far. Like I really like it. So at first I was unsure. First I was like, where's this story going? Like I said, I was like having a hard time following what the characters were doing. But this like first part, I guess the book is like split into 3 parts. I went on Goodreads and I like read some reviews to try to like get more backstory. Also, something surprising that I didn't know was that Stephen Graham Jones is Native American. I did not know that about him. I don't know why. His name was giving very much white man, and so I just assumed. So I was really curious to see what people thought of the Native American representation, because it was just written so well. Like the way that the characters speak, like their accents, the dialect, like the wording, and then also like the talk of like the traditions was just like so authentic. I mean, I didn't know, but it like felt authentic. And so I looked it up, and he is Native American, which is so interesting. And I mean, I guess that's amazing that he wrote this story that like comes from his own background. I feel like it's really obvious when it's own voices, where it's just like it hits right. Like own voices, I was like chef's kiss. Anyway, I am getting really into the story. Like we finally heard about the hunting trip, like what happened those 10 years ago. And obviously I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to spoil it, but it's getting like really kind of scary. Like I'm low-key like, it's like 1 a.m. right now, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little nervous to keep reading this. And like this one character is like kind of going crazy right now, like trying to figure out what's going on, and his craziness is kind of creepy, and I'm still upset about the dog, but it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. Probably won't check in with you again until tomorrow. But yeah. Okay, so I don't know where we left off on The Only Good Indians. I know I was telling you how much I liked it, but I have to update. I finished part 1. I guess the book is split into 3 parts, and I finished part 1, and shocking. I was like, oh my god. I'm on part 2 now, and the perspective is a mixture between 3rd and 2nd person, which is really interesting, and I'm really liking it so far. But it's the work day right now, and I need to actually work on real work. Like I have things I need to do for my developers, and so I would listen to the book while I'm working, but I kind of just want to watch Euphoria.
Really good. Whatever, it didn't matter. It's better not to jinx these things.
Okay, I'm sorry if this shot is shaky. I'm holding my camera up in my car right now. But anyway, I read more of the book on my way to where I'm going. I'm going to the movies with my friend Dooney. We're seeing West Side Story. She saw it this week already. She's a huge movie buff, and she already saw it this week, and she was like, can you go see with me on Friday night? And I was like, sure. I'm very curious with this book to know what part 3 is going to be about, because there's only 2 more characters that the like elk curse is hunting down, and they're both in this part, so I'm very curious what part 3 is going to be. I don't know. I'm still really liking it. I'm really enjoying it. I love the nuance of this book. Like it kind of mixes like the horror elements with like the Native American tradition, and then also like just interesting lifestyles. I don't know, it's very good. So I'm gonna keep listening to that. But yeah, I'm gonna go into the movie now. I gotta go. I'm gonna get a soda and maybe some pretzel bites. That'll be good. Okay, you might be able to hear some sirens, but it is literally 1:34 a.m. I hung out with my friend Dooney after we went to the movie, and I'm trying to get home right now. I know you can see the flashing right now. There is an accident on I-20 in Atlanta to the point where I have not moved for the last 20 minutes, and I just want to get home to my dog. Kind of am assuming that it's a really bad wreck because literally not a single lane is moving, and there was like an emergency vehicle going up with the big like lit up sign that said all lanes closed. So I'm like, it has to be really bad if they literally closed all four, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 lanes on this highway. I really want to go home now. But anyway, I'm just chilling here, so I thought I'd update you guys. Yeah, I hung out with Dooney for a long time, so I hadn't done a ton of reading tonight, but since I've been stuck in the car, I've been listening to the book, and it's getting good. Like I said earlier though, I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen in the rest of the book, because I feel like we're very close to the last 2 characters like being, you know, so I don't know. It's interesting so far, but I'm still really enjoying it. There's my girl. My baby girl, hi. Okay, it's been a while since we last spoke. Honestly, it's been like, I want to say it's Tuesday, and the last time we spoke was Friday. Like 4 days. It's been like 4 days. I am almost done with The Only Good Indians. I have to admit, I've been doing a lot of other things besides reading. I've been at my boyfriend's house. Like, this is my boyfriend's bathroom. This doesn't just like look like a shower curtain that a man would buy. I'm at his house right now. I've been here since Saturday. And so I haven't been reading a ton. Like, I've read a little bit, but not like a ton. So I'm gonna finish that soon. We're moving in together soon. And so we're looking at different houses in the area that we can rent. And so I have kind of taken it on myself. I am kind of an obsessive and fixated person where I am just going to as many house tours as possible, seeing what's out there. My boyfriend can't come to all of them because he has like meetings and different things, but I was like, don't worry, I will take footage of everything and I will find us a house, because I am just the kind of anxious planning person that until I accomplish what I need to accomplish, I will fixate and I will plan. Like, I literally have a Notion dedicated to this endeavor. Like, every time I look at a house, I put it in this little like table on Notion, and then when you open it, like, they each have individual pages and they're dedicated to like the pros and cons of each house. I have never been chill in my life, so there's that. But anyway, I need to get ready. I'm gonna put a little bit of makeup on because the house showing I'm going to at 12:30 is one where the realtor / landlord is actually going to be there, so I want to like look okay. Like, that's why I'm wearing like this cute dress. And so yeah, I'm gonna do my makeup, and then the other 3 houses I'm looking at today are self-tour. So
well, it was fucking one of yes. The sauce.
as you can see, I'm no longer wearing the dress that I talked about in the earlier vlog clip, and if you saw on some of those house tours, I didn't have it on anymore. Basically, the first showing that I was going to ended up being a self-tour, so I was like, I'm gonna put on a comfortable outfit. And yeah, so the first house, I am iffy on. I don't love all the carpet in it. I think the carpet's kind of gross. I liked the layout, I liked the size, I liked the yard. The second house was so small, and I hated the driveway. The driveway was so steep. I don't think I showed the driveway in the clip, but I just hated the second house. Now this last house that you just saw, love it. I didn't really show a ton of it in the clip, but if you went all the way to the top, there is actually like a bonus area, almost like a kind of a bonus room, game room kind of sort of thing, and I just can already picture like where everything would go there, and I really liked it. It did not have a backyard, which is a bummer, but it did have a garage and it had a front yard. So, and then the neighborhood was nice enough that if I wanted to walk my dog, I could, because obviously I need to do that like twice a day. But I really like that one, and the price is really good on it, and so I'm hoping that my boyfriend will like that one too. I filmed a tour of it, and so he and I will probably go look at it again maybe this weekend. The issue is that we're looking kind of early. Like, I don't want to move in somewhere until like earliest like mid-March. Like, I think I could negotiate like what day in March, but I don't want to move in like March 1st because I probably am going to be paying for rent at my current house until April 1st, like go through March, and then Aaron, his lease doesn't end until April 18th, so there'll be like a portion of time when I'm doing the rent by myself, and since we're moving into a bigger house than I currently live in, it's obviously going to be a lot more expensive. So with all that being said, I'm trying to minimize my costs by doing like half a month in March. So basically all these houses we're looking at are available ASAP. So I finished The Only Good Indians, and the ending was oddly very hopeful for a horror book. I kind of liked it. I think overall I'm going to give that book 4 stars. I really thought it was extremely original, and I really liked the Native American lore and all the characters. Like, I just really enjoyed it. It's not going to be a favorite all time, but I definitely would recommend it if you've been thinking about reading it. Like, I really enjoyed my reading experience. Okay, today is Friday, and I haven't updated you since Tuesday, and I have a couple things to say. Number one, the house that I really liked that I told you guys about on Tuesday that you saw in the clip got rented out on Wednesday. I got an email about it, and I did cry, which was weird because I was on a work meeting and I actually was presenting on Zoom when I read the email. I know it's weird to like multitask, but basically I was like sharing these screens. My boss was pulling them up, and right when he was pulling them up, I read the email that I had gotten taken, so I started crying. But then my boss was like, okay, take it away, Sarah. And so then I had to present my designs to like literally 100 people, and I was like trying not to cry because I was really upset that that house got taken. But yeah, anyway, so that happened. Today I'm going to look at another house, so I'm about to put some makeup on, and the landlord is going to be there today, so I wanted to look nice. I have been reading No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Nevill. This is a horror novel that I think was recommended by Jordaline. I'm pretty sure any book that I read that's horror is probably recommended by her, or like The Only Good Indians was recommended by literally everyone because that was in like Goodreads Choice Awards and stuff. But I'm pretty sure Hex and this Adam Nevill book were both recommended by her. She is the horror queen. While we talk about the plot, I am gonna start doing my makeup, and I'm probably gonna use the viewfinder as my mirror, so don't mind me getting really up close and personal with you guys. Okay, so this book is a British horror, like haunted house novel, and it's about this girl. I literally can't remember her name, even though I've listened to like 6 hours of the audiobook. Stephanie, that's her name. Her name is Stephanie. So Stephanie is really down on her luck. She finished her A-levels and she really wanted to go to uni, but she didn't have the money for it. And she's always had a strained time at home. Like, her dad had remarried and her stepmom suffered from a lot of like mental illness stuff. And so her home was always like in a lot of turmoil. And right towards the end of high school, I guess, is A-levels high school? I don't know. I always assume that you do high school and then you have like that random little bit before you go off to uni. So she did whatever went on during that period. Her dad died, and so her and her stepmom's relationship just evolved even more, and it got to the point where her stepmom kicked her out, and she moved out for a while with an ex-boyfriend, but it wasn't working out. I guess he just like was kind of manipulative and she didn't want to be with him anymore, so she moved away from him to a new city. But obviously she doesn't have a lot of money and work is hard to find. So she finds this like share house. I don't know, is that what you call it? Like shared accommodation, like a house that like boards a lot of people, because it's like 40 pounds a week. So she can afford that. I guess that's like 120 pounds a month, math, you know. Anyway, so she finds it, and she soon finds out when she moves in that the place is haunted. Like at night she hears noises, she hears like women's voices, she hears like things crawling under her bed. Sometimes she feels a presence like sitting on her bed with her, and so she's just like not sleeping well. And it feels like the course of this book only takes place over like a little over a week, because it's like every time there's a new chapter, it's like day 6. I will just interrupt saying that I feel like it's taking me longer to talk about this than I normally would because I'm doing my makeup, but it's fine, we're doing this together. I don't know what day we're on, where I am at in the book. I gotta admit, the pacing it's just long. It's just a long book. Like the audiobook is like 14 hours, and I'm just like last I checked, even with 2 times speed, I think I still have 5 hours left, which means that I have like 10 hours, which means I've only listened to 4 hours. So I think what the book is doing well is that you feel Stephanie's like desperation, that like she doesn't have other options. Like none of her friends from back home can take her in. She can't go back to her stepmom. Her ex is now dating someone else. Like there's a lot of things like that that are just kind of preventing her from being able to get out of this situation. And so I'm at this point in the book where the situation has just gotten really bad, like really bad. Like the landlord is mad sketch and the haunting is getting way more intense. And yeah, I think that's what the book is doing well. You feel that kind of claustrophobic, like what is she gonna do? Like she has nowhere to turn kind of feeling, which obviously that is like an element of horror. I think what it's doing bad is that I don't love the pacing. I think it's really slow. Like I'm just like, could we hurry it up? Could we do more of the haunting? Could we do more of like what the landlord is doing? Like, can we just hurry it up? And I'm noticing that a lot with horror. Not necessarily Stephen Graham Jones' book. I feel like his had a good pacing and it wasn't too long. But with Hex and with this one, I'm just like, could we not cut off 100 pages? Is that not something we could be doing? I don't know. I'm wondering if like horror is the genre for me, because I really like fast-paced things and I like things that are kind of like, oh my god, what the fuck, twists and turns. And I feel like these 3 books that I chose aren't really like that. Like The Only Good Indians was really good. I really liked it for what it was because it was so unique and it had like the Native American lore and just elements and whatever, but it wasn't my favorite book ever. So if you kind of understand my reading taste, if you've been watching me for a while, I would really love if you know any horror books that you feel like I would like, if you would recommend them down below, because so far with the Adam Neville one, I don't love it. I don't know. It feels like a 3-star to me. I just wanted to give you guys an evening update on both the house tour from earlier as well as my reading. As far as the house goes, we absolutely loved it. We went to look at it, I think at like 3:30 today, and we just agreed that we both really wanted to live there, so we decided to apply on the spot. The application was actually just like a random paper application that she gave us right there, and she just kind of sent us to go get a money order, so we just had to give her like $45 each and then the paper. It's actually kind of funny that this is the one that we ended up choosing because I didn't film any part of it for you guys, so I guess it'll just be like a little like surprise and reveal if we end up moving in there. We do have to get approved for the application process. I honestly can't remember what I said earlier in this vlog about moving. I feel like I mentioned that I was going to be moving in March, but now it seems like everything is just getting super accelerated. My current roommate Austin actually already applied for a studio apartment, and so they are trying to move out as soon as possible. And so I was kind of like, well, I can speed up my moving out as well if we want to not pay March 1st rent. My landlord that I currently live in his house. That'd be weird if I lived with him. But my current landlord is really, really chill. Like when I texted him earlier this week and said, hey, me and Austin are gonna move out, he was literally like, cool, like good luck, whatever. And I told him that I had a couple of walls painted in this house, and he told me that I could probably leave them. I don't think I can leave the circle that you guys have seen in my videos. I think that's a little bit too specific. But I also painted a wall out in my like entryway, and it's a really, really tall ceiling, like really vaulted ceilings, and I think he's gonna let me leave that. It's a really nice like teal color, so I think whoever lives here next will like it. But yeah, he was really, really laid back about it, so I think if I told him that we actually were gonna move out sooner than April 1st, he would be cool with that. And yeah, so it's gonna be pretty hectic if I end up having to move out this month. Like today is February 4th. I haven't really been saying the dates in this video, but today's February 4th. And if we get approved, she said that we would probably get approved by next Wednesday or Thursday, which means we probably would be moving anywhere from like February 12th to February 15th, which is like so soon. Anyway, so on to my reading. How much did I read? I don't know where my phone is. I'm at this point in the book where it's meant to be scary, but I'm actually just kind of bored. Stephanie got banished to the basement. I don't want to say too much about how or what or whatever is going on, but there's like a lot of weird stuff going on in the basement. And while she's down there, there was like all these like vivid scenes of like ghosts and bodies and all these things. And I feel like it was meant to be like, oh my god, it's so scary. And I literally was just driving, listening, like, and I'm gonna try really hard to just knock it out and finish it tonight so that I can just be like done with it. I'm not enjoying it. And so I really, really hope that you guys have better horror recommendations for me down below. I'm sorry to anyone who recommended this to me. Again, I don't know, I think it was Doraline, but I'm sorry if I don't like it and you like it. But it's just not doing it for me. It's not giving me what I wanted it to have gave. Okay, I wasn't planning on vlogging again tonight, but I spoke too soon. This book is kind of scary. I was like being such a bitch, like, oh my god, this book isn't even scary, like whatever. And now I'm like, it kind of is scary. I'm really anxious, but I'm gonna go try to finish the book. Okay, I have finished No One Gets Out Alive, and despite the brief pickup last night, I didn't like it, besties. I did not like it. I think it probably sits around 2.5 stars for me. Like, I really like the idea of it, and I feel like I can tell that Adam Neville is very good at writing, but the pacing and the length of this novel just like ruined it for me. That brings us to the end of all the books I'm gonna read in this vlog, but Aaron and I are actually going to play Until Dawn tonight, which is a horror video game. So I might film some of us playing that because I know I'm gonna get scared. We basically are just gonna like play it for 6 hours. I think it's like 5 o'clock right now, so we might start in like an hour. I need to do some stuff on my computer and then we'll probably start. And then I'll start editing this video tomorrow. And I do still need to film an intro and outro for it. So hopefully this video will go up by next Tuesday or Wednesday.
The fuck?
Is that?
Whoa. Is somebody who's feeding them?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is the scariest part of it. No! This is the scariest part of the game. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this vlog. It sort of turned into a hybrid reading and life vlog, but I felt like that was a really fun way to do this vlog. So let me know down below if you liked this. Also, please give me your horror book recommendations because as you saw, I was a little bit struggling in this video with a few of the books. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. You're all beautiful. Have a nice day.